The golf world just got turned upside down, and Angel Reese is having a complete meltdown about it. Caitlin Clark isn't just dominating basketball anymore, she just secured a massive LPGA partnership that's worth millions. And the jealousy from certain WNBA players is absolutely off the charts. What's happening right now isn't just drama. It's a full-blown crisis that's exposing the ugly truth about women's sports rivalries. Before we dive into this shocking situation, hit that subscribe button if you want to stay updated on all the latest WNBA controversies, because what's coming next will blow your mind. Here's what nobody's talking about. This isn't just about golf. When Caitlin Clark signed that multi-million-dollar LPGA deal in late 2024 that extends through 2026, she didn't just expand her brand, she basically declared herself the undisputed queen of women's sports. The partnership includes exclusive Nike golf collaborations, cross-promotional events, and marketing rights that make her previous endorsements look like pocket change. We're talking about $6 to $8 million over 2 years, and that's just the beginning. But Angel Reese couldn't handle it. Within minutes of the announcement going public, she posted that now infamous tweet saying, "I can play golf too," and everyone knew exactly who she was targeting. The timing wasn't coincidental. Reese has been watching her social media engagement plummet, while Clark's continues to skyrocket. And this LPGA deal was the final straw. Sources close to the situation say Reese has been privately fuming about Clark's success for months, but this golf partnership pushed her over the edge. What makes this even more explosive is what's been happening behind the scenes in 2025. While Caitlin Clark has been recovering from her recent ankle injury that's kept her out of several games, she's been quietly building this golf empire. She's been spotted at multiple PGA events, taking lessons from top instructors, and even hosting private clinics for young female athletes. Meanwhile, Angel Reese has been desperately trying to stay relevant with modeling gigs and controversial social media posts that keep backfiring. The real shocker that nobody's discussing is how other WNBA players are reacting. Several unnamed sources within the league have confirmed that there's a growing divide between players who support Clark's crossover success and those who resent it. One veteran player, who requested anonymity, revealed that team group chats have been exploding with heated debates about whether Clark is abandoning basketball for golf. The tension has gotten so bad that some teams have banned discussing Clark during practice to avoid conflicts. But that wasn't even the most controversial part. What happened next would shock everyone who thought they knew the real story. Angel Reese actually tried to secure her own golf sponsorship deal immediately after Clark's announcement. Multiple sports marketing agencies have confirmed that Reese's team reached out within 48 hours of the LPGA news, desperately pitching her as a golf ambassador. The problem? Reese has barely ever played golf. One executive, speaking on condition of anonymity, said the pitch was embarrassing and clearly reactionary. They even submitted photos of Reese holding a golf club that were obviously staged just days after Clark's deal went public. The desperation doesn't stop there. Reese has been caught liking and then unliking multiple negative posts about Clark's golf venture. Screenshots captured by eagle-eyed fans show Reese engaging with comments calling Clark a sellout and suggesting she's not focused on basketball. When confronted about this behavior during a recent press conference, Reese awkwardly deflected, saying she was just scrolling and didn't mean anything by it. Here's where it gets even more intense. The LPGA partnership wasn't just handed to Clark. She earned it through months of strategic planning and genuine passion for the sport. Unlike Reese's last-minute scramble, Clark has been playing golf since childhood, regularly competing in charity tournaments and maintaining a single-digit handicap. Her connection to golf is authentic, which is exactly why brands trust her and why fans respect her crossover appeal. The financial implications are staggering. Industry insiders estimate that Clark's total earnings from basketball and golf combined will exceed $15 million in 2025 alone. That's more than most WNBA players make in their entire careers. Meanwhile, Reese's endorsement portfolio has been shrinking. She lost 2 major sponsorship deals in the past 6 months, and brands are reportedly hesitant to work with her due to her volatile social media presence. What's really destroying Angel Reese isn't just the money, it's the respect gap. When the LPGA announced Clark's partnership, golf legends like Annika Sorenstam and Nancy Lopez publicly welcomed her. Professional golfers are excited to play alongside her in pro-ams. The golf community has embraced Clark with open arms because she brings genuine enthusiasm and respect for the game. Compare that to Reese's transparent attempt to muscle her way into golf purely out of jealousy. And the contrast is brutal. The situation reached a breaking point last week when both players attended the same charity event in Phoenix. Witnesses say Reese deliberately avoided Clark all evening, even taking a different route to the bathroom to avoid crossing paths. When Clark was invited to hit ceremonial golf shots for the crowd, Reese was overheard making sarcastic comments about some people trying to do everything. The tension was so thick that event organizers had to strategically keep them separated for photos. But here's the detail that changes everything. Caitlin Clark never wanted this rivalry. Sources close to Clark reveal she's actually tried to reach out to Reese multiple times to smooth things over. She even offered to include Reese in one of her golf clinics, thinking it might help bridge the gap. Reese's response? She left Clark on red and then subtweeted about fake people trying to look good for the cameras. The WNBA itself is stuck in an impossible position. On one hand, Clark's crossover success brings unprecedented attention to women's basketball. Her golf partnership includes provisions for promoting WNBA games during LPGA broadcasts, potentially exposing millions of new fans to women's basketball. On the other hand, the league can't afford to lose Angel Reese, who despite her controversies, still draws significant viewership and social media engagement. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert has been privately meeting with both players' representatives, trying to prevent this feud from exploding into a full-scale public relations disaster. The league even considered implementing a social media policy specifically targeting indirect player conflicts, but backed off after pushback from the Players Association. What makes this whole situation even more fascinating is the timing. Clark's golf debut at the Gainbridge LPGA event is scheduled for next month, right in the middle of WNBA season preparations. She's been training intensively, working with a sports psychologist to handle the pressure of competing in a different sport at a professional level. Meanwhile, Reese posted a video of herself at a driving range, awkwardly swinging a club with terrible form, captioned "Natural Athlete." The video became a meme within hours, with golf instructors creating reaction videos breaking down everything wrong with her swing. The corporate world is watching this drama unfold with serious interest. Major brands are reportedly reconsidering their WNBA sponsorship strategies based on how this rivalry develops. One Fortune 500 company executive, speaking anonymously, admitted they're concerned about the optics of sponsoring players who can't maintain professional relationships. This could have massive implications for player salaries and league growth going forward. Here's something that will blow your mind. Angel Reese's own teammates are starting to distance themselves from her behavior. Several Chicago Sky players have conspicuously started following Caitlin Clark on social media and liking her golf-related posts. One teammate was even spotted wearing Nike golf apparel to practice, which many interpreted as a subtle show of support for Clark. The locker room dynamics have reportedly become uncomfortable, with Reese increasingly isolated from her own team. The international response has been equally dramatic. European women's basketball leagues are now actively recruiting both players, seeing an opportunity to capitalize on their fame and rivalry. Clark has received offers worth tens of millions to play overseas during WNBA off-seasons, with golf partnerships included. Reese has received similar offers, but sources say teams are concerned about her reputation for creating drama. But wait, it gets even crazier. Angel Reese's family members have started weighing in on social media, with her cousin posting and then deleting a lengthy rant about how Clark gets special treatment because of her background. The post, which was screenshot before deletion, accused the media of having favorites and suggested there's a conspiracy to promote certain players over others. This led to an absolute firestorm in the comments, with fans from both sides going to war. The psychological toll on both players is becoming evident. Clark has hired a full public relations team to manage the situation, while maintaining her signature professionalism in public. She continues to praise Reese's basketball skills in interviews, refusing to take the bait when reporters try to stir up controversy. Reese, however, appears to be cracking under the pressure. She's been spotted arguing with reporters, walking out of interviews when Clark's name is mentioned, and even unfollowing several mutual friends who congratulated Clark on the golf deal. What nobody expected was for other sports to start weighing in. Tennis star Coco Gauff recently praised Clark's multi-sport ambitions, saying it's inspiring to see female athletes breaking boundaries. Soccer legend Megan Rapinoe called Clark's golf partnership a game changer for women's sports visibility. Each positive comment from another athlete seems to trigger another passive-aggressive response from Reese, who recently posted about how some people need to stay in their lane. The situation has gotten so toxic that sports psychologists are now publicly analyzing the rivalry. Dr. Jennifer Martinez, a renowned sports psychology expert, recently published an article suggesting that Reese's behavior exhibits classic signs of professional jealousy and insecurity. She noted that athletes who define themselves solely through comparison to others often struggle when their rivals achieve success in unexpected areas. Here's the part that should concern every WNBA fan. This drama is starting to overshadow the actual basketball. Ticket sales for games featuring both players have skyrocketed, but not because fans want to see great basketball. They're coming for the drama, hoping to witness some kind of confrontation. The league's attempt to market itself as a serious professional sport is being undermined by what many are calling reality TV behavior. The coaching staff on both teams are struggling to manage the situation. Indiana Fever's coaching team has reportedly had to implement special protocols for when media asks about the rivalry, while Chicago Sky coaches are dealing with the distraction Reese's social media activity creates. One assistant coach, speaking off the record, said it's exhausting trying to keep the focus on basketball when every day there's new drama. Even more shocking is how sponsors are responding. Nike, which has partnerships with both players, is reportedly considering restructuring their deals to include behavioral clauses. Other brands are watching closely, with some executives admitting they're hesitant to invest in women's sports if this is the type of drama they can expect. This could have devastating long-term effects on WNBA player salaries and marketing opportunities. The golf world, meanwhile, is absolutely loving the attention Clark is bringing. LPGA viewership for events Clark is scheduled to appear in has already seen pre-sale ticket numbers triple. Golf equipment manufacturers are creating special edition clubs inspired by Clark's basketball golf crossover. There's even talk of a documentary series following her journey from the basketball court to the golf course. What's particularly telling is how each player's fan base is reacting. Clark's supporters have organized charity golf tournaments in her honor, raising money for youth sports programs. They're celebrating her expansion into golf as inspiration for young athletes to pursue multiple passions. Reese's fan base, however, seems divided. While some defend her right to express frustration, others are embarrassed by what they see as petty behavior unbecoming of a professional athlete. The most recent development is perhaps the most shocking of all. Sources within the WNBA are suggesting that there's been discussion about scheduling conflicts between Clark's golf commitments and basketball obligations. While Clark's team insists everything has been coordinated with the league, there are whispers that some team owners are unhappy about their star players dividing attention between sports. This could lead to policy changes that affect every player's ability to pursue outside opportunities. As we head deeper into 2025, this situation shows no signs of cooling down. Clark's golf debut is approaching, and everyone's watching to see how she performs. If she succeeds, it'll further cement her status as a transcendent athlete. If she struggles, Reese and her supporters will undoubtedly use it as ammunition. Either way, the drama is far from over. The real question everyone should be asking isn't whether Angel Reese is jealous. That's obvious. The question is whether this rivalry will ultimately help or hurt women's sports. Some argue that any attention is good attention, that this drama brings eyeballs to the WNBA. Others worry that it reinforces negative stereotypes about female athletes being catty and unable to support each other's success. What do you think? Is Angel Reese's reaction to Caitlin Clark's golf deal justified frustration or pure jealousy? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more exclusive WNBA coverage, because this story is far from over and you won't want to miss what happens next.